Hey George, my name's Tim. I'm gonna give you a show and tell on your trailer. We start out, we got two 20-pound propane cylinders that are full, except for what I use to service the trailer. The arrow on the regulator's pointed towards that one over there. When that tank over there happens to come empty, since the arrow's pointed to it, it's going to turn red inside the eye where the green's at, indicate that the bottle's empty. If you have both cylinders open, it'll automatically pick up from this one over here. Even though it's pointed towards that one and it's showing you red that it's empty, it'll still pick up from this one over here. Then all you have to do is flip the arrow over to the other side, and you can take that one off and take it to town and have it refilled. But that is the one I worked off of when I serviced the trailer. It does have one 12-volt battery on the front of the trailer, and also has a battery disconnect. It is in the operating position now. To turn it off, you turn it out and pull the key out. So we're going to put it right back in. We're going to turn it right back on. On the electric jack, you have a little button for the light, and then you have an up and down button for your lowering and raising of the jack. For any reason, the jack won't work on its own. There is a manual crank handle that will come in through the rubber plug at the front and will manually crank that jack up or down. On the bottom of your cover, there's two little tabs that you can put a bungee cord underneath the metal rack on the bottles to hold it in place. And it also has a quick disconnect at the top, so you don't have to take the cover off every time. As we start down this side here, the hot water heater is the first connection. Hot water heater is electric and gas. The electric switch is in the lower left-hand corner, and the gas switch is going to be on your monitor panel on the inside. I always make sure that I have water coming out of the pop-off valve at the top before I turn it on electric or gas. One more thing to show you, it does have an anode rod down here at the bottom. It is your drain plug for draining the water out of the hot water heater. But an anode rod actually draws all the impurities out of the water to it, eats up that rod instead of eating up the inside of the tank. Anytime the steel rod's shown, it's time to replace it. There is a cap for the freshwater tank drain. I left it in the hot water heater compartment. You do have two low water drain points just up underneath the frame here on the side. They're right there. You do have a park cable hookup. So if the park that you're at has a cable, you can hook to it, and you'll have the same cable that they have on your TV. It does have an outside shower. It does have hot and cold running water to it. You have a freshwater connection to fill your freshwater tank, and then a city water connect. If you don't want to fill the tank and you are accessible to water, you can hook a water hose and regulator to the city water connect and never have to fill the fresh tank on. The fresh tank drain is between the axles. And it also has a black tank flush. So when you're dumping your holding tanks, you can hook to this with a water hose and a regulator, turn water pressure onto it with the termination valve open, and it will spin around on the inside and help clean more of the debris out of the inside of the toilet tank. Outside of the furnace is next. You're going to suck cold air in the top, hot air out the bottom. I always suggest putting a mud dauber screen over the outside of the furnace for the simple fact mud daubers love that smell, and they go in there and they build their little dirt nest. It does have a 30 amp cord with the trailer that connects to this connection right here. That is about 25 to 30 foot long. It does have a stove vent. For the stove vent to work properly, the two tabs have to be lifted up on it. Allows the flapper to flap. But when you travel down the road, you want to push them tabs back in so it don't flap till it breaks out. Then we got the back of the refrigerator. Refrigerator works three ways: 12 volt, 110, and propane. Does not cool down on the 12 volt side. All it does is, for any reason you lose 110 power coming to it, it will automatically kick over and light it on gas if for any reason you lose 110 power coming to the trailer. Does have a hookup light for hooking up out here at nighttime. The switch for it is on the monitor panel on the inside. On your dump valves, the 3-inch valve in the back is your toilet water. The 2-inch valve in front of that is for your bathroom sink and shower and your kitchen sink water. While we're down here at the jacks, there is a manual way to crank the electric jacks on the front and back of the trailer up. It does have a split bar in here and a handle in the front compartment that you can manually crank that up or down. It does have a spare tire on the back of the trailer. It's been air different pressure, but it's not been torqued on, so it's been on with a wrench. The camera, the trailer is also prepped with a backup camera. It does have the luggage rack. The luggage rack says it'll hold 300 pounds when it's in the down position. As we start up this side over here, you do have a little latch for the critter. Outside kitchenette. On the kitchenette, we do have an outside refrigerator that is 12 or 110 only. It does have an outside grill. Hose on the grill comes down and makes a connection down here by the side of the frame. And on that connection there too, there is a T-valve on the side of it. That T-valve has to be in line with the gas line to have gas coming through it. We also have an outside shower on this side over here that gives you hot and cold running water to it. A little sink, wash the dishes out of. The little red lever is to hold the grill and the sink in the out position. We're going to slide them back in. You do have 2 outside speakers on the trailer. One in front of the window and one behind the window. There is a place to put the TV. Slides in the bracket out here on that. Hooks to that, which is the park cable or the antenna. And the top connection is a 110 outlet to plug the TV into. It does have a solar prep for a solar panel to hook to it to recharge the battery. And in your front compartment is all the rest of the hitch package parts. You have 2 handles. This one does the electric tongue jack on the front of the trailer. The brass collar one on the front wall does your 2 leveling jacks. And then all the rest of the stuff that's in there is your hitch package for the trailer. We're going to open the door up. Once the trailer's on site, leveled from side to side by using the plastic blocks and the tongue jack for leveling your front to back. The proper fit of the steps is next. The steps are going to be locked into the door frame with the blue handle here. What we want to do is pull that handle loose, lay the steps down. The main thing on the steps is it has to fit flat in the threshold, and to achieve that there is a pin on either side that you pull out and adjust the legs to fit the contour of the ground. Now we'll step up inside the coach. It does have a working fire extinguisher on the left hand side as we step in. The little light switch here on this turns your back light on above your termination valve so you can see to do that. The first switch here turns your LED lights on the awning. The second one turns the 2 lights above the sink on. And the third one turns the light above the table on. We also have an awning switch for running the awning out. We won't be able to get that all the way out because of that other trailer. But the awning has no holes in it. Does have the LED lights up underneath the side of it. As we step around the corner, it does have a 110 outlet and a USB port by the kitchen table. Up here at the top is controls for the furnace. It has an on and off position. All you have to do is crank it up, dial it up to the temperature you want. Automatically the furnace is going to come on. The fan's going to run for about a minute. Then it self-ignites itself, lights itself, and then you'll be able to tell a change in the 2 vents that's in the trailer within about 5 minutes. On your stereo, it has an on and off button. The zones 1 and 2 is for your speakers. Zone 1 is inside the coach. Zone 2 is on the outside of the coach. It is also fixed for a set of headphones, a HDMI cord, and a USB port. Table comes off the 2 pedestals, goes down between the 2 benches. The 2 back cushions comes over the top of the table to make a smaller bed. There is a place to put a TV in here on the wall. Hooks to the booster up here at the top. And a 110 outlet to plug it into. It also will play a DVD between the stereo and the TV through the HDMI cord. In the bathroom, the lights have to be turned on by hand. They have a little push button to the center of those. You do have your GFI outlet in the bathroom. Knurled knob in the ceiling cranks the vent up. Fan has 4 speeds on it and an off button. On the toilet, it has a single foot flush on the right hand side of it. Fill halfway full of water, do your business, push all the way down, fills and dumps. Your inside shower is just like what you have at home. It does have hot and cold running water going to it. Refrigerator is a 3-way refrigerator. 110, propane, and 12 volt. The only thing that the 12 volt does is, for any reason the refrigerator would lose the 110 power coming to it, it will automatically kick it over to gas. But if you wanted to manually kick it over to gas, all you have to do there is push the gas button and let it pop out. Pretty good sized freezer, pretty good sized refrigerator down at the bottom. The fin on the far right hand side has a white Teflon pad on it. The farther up that Teflon pad goes, the colder it gets in the refrigerator. The farther down that Teflon pad comes, the warmer it will stay. The 2 little gray tabs up at the top of the freezer are for when you're not using the refrigerator. The tabs will go on the side of the door handle and pushes in and holds the door open just enough to let it breathe air and to dry all the moisture out of the refrigerator. If you shut it up without drying it out, it will mildew everything that's white on the inside. On your microwave, the only thing I can tell you about the microwave is it has a clock button on it. Hit the clock button, set the time, hit the clock button again. The reason I set the time on the microwave is I can tell if the trailer's lost 110 power coming to it or not if it doesn't keep the right time. On your stove top, the glass stove top will fold back 2 times, up out of the way. The little button on the right hand side turns the blue lights on. We'll turn it to the pilot position, light the striker. It will light all 3 burners up on top of the stove. And it will also light the oven down below. You have to turn it to where it says pilot on, hold the button down, and hit the striker on the left hand side to get it to light. The sink is pretty self-explanatory. Hot side, cold side, and for it to have water coming out, it has to have the handle pulled back on. On your monitor panel, to test your levels, you can test your battery level. Shows you that it's 2/3 of the way full. Your freshwater tank is empty. Your blackwater tank is empty, and the gray tank is empty. Red button on the right hand side turns the pump on. The red button on the left hand side turns the gas on for the hot water heater. When you turn the gas on for the hot water heater, the little red light comes on. It stays on for about a minute, then it goes off. Then the hot water heater will go through 2 lighting cycles to light on gas. For any reason it does not light, that little red light's going to come back on. Does have a fire escape window on the off door side from the bed. You have a USB port and a 110 outlet on either side of the bed. Couch has to be folded down for the bed to flip out. We do have a smoke detector right above us. And we also have an LP detector down here on the cabinet. It is an LP and carbon monoxide. It gets 2 different distinctive sounds when it goes off. And we're going to step back here and we're going to show you the inside of the breaker box. Breaker box is marked from the top coming down, with your main being your first one, your AC, your GFI outlets, your microwave, refrigerator, converter, and water heater is your last one. Car fuses over here on this side over here. The biggest part of them are lights. but you do have one for the ignition on the hot water heater and refrigerator and the pump, and it tells you from the top coming down what the car fuses are. The little brown vent right here beside me is for your heat. It comes out here and it comes out in front of the sink. Your connections on the air conditioner vents out both ends, the center, and the center on each side. It does not have the heat option strip in it. It does have the fan only side that's in black, and the cool side is in blue. And all you have to do is turn it to whichever connection you want it to make. In underneath the sink is where your pump is. Pump is right in behind the panel right there. It already has a bypass on it. And the connection for the hot water heater is up underneath the bed on the left hand side. You have to go through the hole there to get to your two valves on the back of the hot water heater. The two lights above the bed have to be turned on by hand. You do have a cabinet on either side and storage space above that. And that's pretty well basically everything on your trailer. If you have any kind of questions, I'll try to answer them the best that I can. And thank you for your time.